Now then, let me turn to Graeme Garden, and I want to ask you about the future of the British family. Do you think it's the case that the family is the essential building block of society?
I think it is, and I think it's very much under threat.
Isn't there the end of the British family anyway? I think the figures show that the number of people getting married is 20% down over the last 10 years.
Well, you know, I mean, I had it 3 times last night, and...
I'm not sure your personal life is really what we want to know.
Well, it's very much about personal life.
Yes, it is.
The whole point of a family is
But
that
young
it's a
people
group of
are
personal
not
life.
deciding to get married anymore. They might live together, they might not, but they're certainly not getting into marriage with each other the way they used to do.
No, but I mean, they ought to. They ought to get married. Everybody should get married. Rebecca is not married.
Isn't she?
I happen to be free now.
Yeah. But should politicians get involved in this, or should you just discover what people are doing and just respond accordingly?
Yep.
Where do you stand on the abolition of the married couple's allowance? Do you support its abolition?
Nope.
It was £190 a year, wasn't it?
Yep.
So would you reinstate it?
Nope.
So you're happy for it to be abolished?
Yep.
Could you explain your fiscal policy?
Well, down, boy.
In 50 years' time, do you still expect that the people will be living in nuclear family units, husband and wife, children?
They'll be living in nuclear shelters.
Nuclear shelters, yeah. And are you concerned about the way the family life is going?
Well, I am, and if we look around, you can see the gentleman sitting just second from the end of the front row there. Now, no self-respecting family would have him in it, would they?
Well, thank you very much, Graeme Garden. I think we'll perhaps leave it there. Right. It's time for a reshuffle. In this round, our teams must appoint some new members to their cabinet. They have to pick a number, and whoever is revealed behind the number, they have to justify that person's inclusion. Jeremy, can we start with you?
Number 2.
Number 2. Jeremy's gone for number 2. And, well, it's the Duke of Edinburgh. You can ignore the 2 girls he's with, even if he can't.
He's probably been an excellent Foreign Secretary.
Yes.
His diplomatic skills are par none.
Par none?
Before Christmas, he was in Malaysia for the Commonwealth riots, cheering on the police there.
Yes.
And I had the pleasure of being with him in India, and he showed great wit and grace in disarming his host as we sat down to dinner. He said, "Plain omelette for me, thanks. My arse was on fire for a month last time I ate this."
Yes, yes.
So I think he'd make an excellent Foreign Secretary. Also, the great thing is, wherever he goes, he evokes great sympathy for the Queen.
Right. OK. Graeme, who are you going to get?
4.
Number 4. And who have we got there? Chris Tarrant.
Yes, I think he'd be an excellent addition to the cabinet. I would see him as Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Oh, right.
You could see him making his budget speech to the pensioners. Your pension is, at the moment, £78. You could double it. And here's the question. Where are your glasses?
All right. Very good. Rebecca, front. Could you select one?
Number 6.
Number 6. Who are you going to get? That's Darth Vader, if I'm not mistaken.
We were actually going to offer Mr. Vader, as I call him, the position of Minister for Defence Procurement.
Yes.
Obviously, that wouldn't be appropriate in the light of the lightsabers to Iraq scandal.
Yes.
We are in discussion with him about 1 or 2 possible positions. I mean, he is master of all evil in the universe, and obviously since Peter Mandelson left, there's a vacancy there.
Yeah.
Possibly Mayor for London, on the basis of anyone but Archer, really.
Yeah. All right.
Let me say he would make an excellent Home Secretary, Lord Vader, because let's not forget, he did cut off his own son's hand just to prove how hard he is.
Yes. All right. Well, let's, with that happy thought, let's go to Fred MacAulay.
Could I have number 1?
Number 1, certainly. Certainly, Fred. And there we have it's Posh Spice and Beckham, David Beckham. So you can have them together. And throw in an extra baby as well, I think.
The baby. might, given the fact that it dribbles a lot and hasn't got control of its bowels yet, might automatically qualify for a seat in the Lords. Well, I thought, you know...
Lord Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, exactly.
Yeah.
Named after the favourite bridge, which was a stroke of luck because they'd been toying with Chelsea, Battersea, Albert,
Yes.
King George V,
Yeah.
and Humpback.
Yes.
I think we'll have to give
Erskine
them...
Bridge.
Erskine
Yeah,
Bridge, of
good
course.
one, yeah.
It's my mother's maiden name, which only Clive knew.
We go back a long way, me and your mother.
It does explain rather a lot, doesn't it, Clive?
Let's go on to a round called... I couldn't disagree more. It's important that any politician could be able to disagree with anything said by his opponents, however reasonable those things being said are. Jeremy, can you disagree with anything that Fred and Graeme now throw at you?
Jesus was a religious kind of a guy.
Well, we don't actually know this. The evidence is very scanty. I mean, the Gospels contradict each other. I mean, according to Matthew and Mark, Jesus says, Father, forgive them, they know not what they do. According to Luke, he says, Father, unto thy hands I commend my spirit, which is a totally different version of events, and that's journalism for you. According to the police, he resisted arrest and fell on the cross when they were putting him in the van.
War. What's it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
We wish the British nominees at the Oscars every success.
No, our films are shite, let's be honest. Because American films have budgets and guns and good-looking people and cars, and all our films about amiable people getting themselves into a frightful pickle.
Cabinet ministers should not drink blood.
Be fair, I mean, we are doomed to stalk the earth for all eternity, and we have to live on something.
Lady in Red by Chris de Burgh is without doubt the worst record ever made.
No, I couldn't disagree more. All of the records of Celine Dion are without doubt the worst records ever made.
We're very near to the end of the programme. Just enough time for some desperate vote grabbing. So if they've got any policies they think are going to swing the odd voter their way, then ring or buzz. Graeme.
We shall lift the hosepipe ban in North Yorkshire.
We're going to do something about the appalling state of Britain's leisure facilities. I mean, people are going to these so-called leisure centres to do 2 hours of hard physical exercise, when a leisure centre should be somewhere you can sit around in your pants watching cartoons.
We want to get back to traditional Victorian family values by putting children up chimneys.
We're going to introduce a laughter track on Animal Hospital.
We're going to restrict the right to roam of the Countryside Alliance to stop them from traipsing through our streets with no respect for our urban ways, shouting their slogans like, listen to us and we're all related.
Equality for pets. We're going to introduce dog flaps.
We pledge that in future, black motorists will be allowed to pull police cars over and say, is this your car, Constable?
And that's the final vote, so well done, everybody, with your policy grabbers. We come to the general election. This is the big one. This is when you decide which of these two teams you would prefer to form your government. If you want the blue party, vote blue. And obviously, if you want the red party, vote red. And do it now, please. Oh, and a narrow victory just to the red party. So well done. Do you think you've lost the vote north of the border? You introduced a Scottish element as a desperate ploy, but didn't seem to work.
Is that all I am to you, a Scottish element?
Well done. Congratulations. So for the Red Party, an audience with the Queen, and for the Blue Party, an audience with Jimmy Tarbuck. That's all from Fire Rule the World. This is me, Clive Anderson, saying good night. Good night.